Okay, we are back. Looks like I'm good to go here on the internet. We are back for week 4. I'm a little choppy though. Am I choppy on your guys' end?
No.
No.
Let me check some. Okay, I'm good here. So we're back for week 4, and this week we are going to be covering a topic that I love, a topic that is way underused, and that is video marketing for restaurants. And before I go any further, we will introduce who we have here in the panel, because some of y'all might be seeing people on the screen that you're wondering why you're not on the screen. Well, these are our panelists. I've got Emily and Darren from iPourIt, even though Darren says Emily. So we have 2 Emilys. And then I have Chris Wiley from the Wiley Development Group, which has some rapid-fire pizzas and some hothead burritos. And so, Emily, I guess you start off, introduce yourself.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Emily. I am the digital marketing specialist for iPourIt. I have a background in journalism. I went to school at University of Missouri. I have had a couple of marketing roles, and I've also had experience as a beer sales rep. So I have a lot of experience within the bar and restaurant industry as well as digital marketing. I'm really excited to be a part of this. It's a great resource for not only our operators, but anyone really who's in the restaurant and bar industry trying to increase their foot traffic and boost those sales and gain awareness. And, you know, iPourIt has always tried to push for success of our operators. We really view this as a partnership. So I'm excited to share this information with everyone.
Cool. Thank you, ma'am. And the other Emily, Darren.
Hi, this is Darren Nicholson. I run sales and marketing for iPourIt, and I always look forward to Thursdays because I get to learn something new. So appreciate all your help there, Matt.
Welcome. And last but not least, our wannabe Evil Knievel, Mr. Chris Wiley.
Yeah, I'm recovering from the injuries. Let's see, I'm Chris Wiley with Wiley Development Group. We operate a couple of different brands, rapid fire pizza and hothead burritos. We've been working with iPourIt. We're on our 3rd deployment now. Just opened a purpose-built cantina, and we're in the process of building a 60-tap rapid fire pizza tap room. And we're part of a brand with about 100 stores across the 2 brands. And driving self-pour is part of the business.
Well, cool. Well, the person with the dog in the background, that's me. I'm Matt Plapp, and I am a restaurant marketer and author and speaker. I won't go too deep into me. We've done that on the past webinars, but if you go on the other webinars, you'll see that underneath this little logo of my initials, MP, the fist, is what I do. You can check that on other ones. We're going to go into real quick what we're talking about in these webinars. The first one that we did, this is the 4th one, we've talked about social media content, social media 101. And then last week we dug into a little deeper in the social media. And now we're going to go into video. But there's 3 big reasons that I find a lot of businesses struggle, especially restaurants, with marketing their restaurants. And it's because nobody knows them. They don't know their audience, and their audience doesn't know them. And so that's what we hope to cover over these 8 weeks. And that's the 3 things we're covering. No one knows you. It's no coincidence this slide is blank. That's for the simple fact that, people have a hard time of building databases and connecting with people outside of their stores and finding new people. And this is a graphic that I made. I'm actually in the process of recreating it digitally and animated. But it's the fact that a lot of businesses take the bottom route. They spend their ad dollars over here on selling, meaning they buy mass media, they buy marketing, radio, TV, direct mail, newspaper, billboards. And when they spend money down here, all they're doing is renting an audience. And I'm a big proponent of not renting an audience. I want to own an audience. So we're going to talk about in these seminars, especially today, how you can use video marketing to create an audience that you own, that you can use. And that's what this last thing talks about. All of these metrics right here, or all these media, are able to charge you for one reason. They have built up people that know them. They have an understanding of who's watching, listening, driving by, opening up. You don't. That's why they can charge for it. So the goal is over these 8 weeks to teach restaurants that are using the iPourIt system, as well as other restaurants that should be using the iPourIt system, of how to make sure that you can get people to know you. And the 8 tactics we're using that we're diving into in these webinars social media, email marketing, text messaging, video marketing, retargeting, in-store and community grassroots, and messenger marketing. And we're going into those. Well, today we are going into video marketing. That's the 20th. Next week, we've got ads. We're going to dive a little today into ads, but next week we got Facebook and Instagram ads. Week after that, July 2nd, we're actually on a Tuesday because July 4th is the holiday. And the week after that, we've got July 11th, which is creating call to action marketing with messenger and email. July 18th, tracking your results. And then the 25th is our wrap up. But today's agenda that we're going to dive into, video. And they always say video killed the radio star. Well, video has killed a lot in social media because video is such a powerful product. And what we're going to cover today, we just did the intro. We're going to go over video marketing. We're going to go over the case study clients, which I'll show you in a second on another slide, and go over some of their efforts. And then we've got the homework, and then we've got our question and answer. And at any point during the week, you want to go back and see the replays or see the registration for the next one or some bonus things I've got planned to put in there. You can go to roiengines.com/iPourIt, fill your information out. Once you register once, you can bookmark that page and come back to it. But today's topic is video. And I'm going to go a little more detailed in this in a second. But if you look at the bottom down here, if you think about it, imagine you're running TV commercials and people watch it. Well, that's cool. That's the concept of TV commercials, is that somebody watched your TV commercial. But imagine if you can find out how much they watched it. Imagine if you're Mountain Dew and you've got a commercial during the Super Bowl and you spend $5 million. Well, it's a big audience, but does that actually sell Mountain Dew? Well, Chris, I'm going to guess you as an operator, you don't have the money that Mountain Dew has, correct?
Absolutely not. Yep.
So you need to know that somebody saw your commercial. And the coolest part that we're going to talk about today is not only knowing that somebody saw your commercial, but knowing who saw it, how much they saw of it, what they did with it, and how to reach them again. So that's what we're going to dive into here in this first section. Let me make this screen a little smaller and open up a different window. Let's see, here it is. So you guys can see my screen, right?
Yep.
So this, in essence, is why I love video on the internet. And this goes for Facebook, LinkedIn, I believe, even has some of these capabilities, but Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. And there's four topics here. And this is what I always talk about with radio and TV and any mass media, is that supposedly somebody saw your marketing. They heard it. They're engaged in it, but you don't really know. And that's one thing that drives me crazy. Is a buddy of mine who actually just joined my team, Doug Smith, has worked in radio for 27 years, just came on board full-time with me. The last 5 years, he actually spent working for a company that, in essence, taught media companies how to trick the surveys. So, for example, I don't know if y'all know this, a little lesson in radio and TV. Radio, Cincinnati, they'll say that Q102, a top 40 hot AC station, has 200,000 weekly listeners. Emily, how many people do you think were surveyed to get that number?
How many listeners did you say?
200,000. So what would you expect? If you're a business owner and they say, hey, we've got 200,000 listeners, what would you think that, okay, they did this to figure that out? Darren's got his hand out.
You, Darren, go.
I say it's 10%.
Well, you'll be happy to know that you were probably high. I don't know, 10% of 200,000 would be 20,000.
Yeah.
About 1,200 people.
Oh,
and
wow.
Here's the scary part about it. It's like I looked back at when I used to sell radio 20 years ago, we would have these reports we'd pull and say, hey, Chris, your Rapid Fired Pizza in Bowling Green, our listeners, we are the #1 station for women 35 to 55 with kids who are married in your area. Well, what I've learned since then, especially with Doug's help and through my many years of buying media, is that about 1,200 in Cincinnati, let's just say 1,000 in Cincinnati, make up those 200,000 people. But what's even scarier is that you might actually break it down to where you look at a zip code, where you look at a male or female, an age, it might be one person. Doug was actually telling me an example of a city where a radio station's ratings in a zip code in one city, they were #1. #1 just because they had one female in that demographic that took the survey. And so that is one of my biggest problems with mass media is the fact that, yes, it works if you have a big enough budget, but at the end of the day, you really have no clue what happened. Now, what I love about digital marketing is you do know, and you can figure it out. And there's a lot of opportunity there. So I got this little test I put together just to kind of walk you through it. We're going to dig into this. If you remember, we talked about retargeting up here, where you can walk people down a line that you target men who are 21 that work around your store. And then you have a video for that with happy hour. You have 10,000 people that you target with. It's a 1-minute video. Then the next step is you target people who watched a percentage of that video. That gets you to 3,000 people. And you keep going down the line to where you're talking to a very specific audience. Well, here's why I love digital media for videos over, let's say, a picture. Because if I'm scrolling through Facebook, if I go back to my Facebook here, and if I'm scrolling through here, there's my reminder I send myself every day to do my top 5 for the business. But if I'm scrolling through here and here's a video, a picture, there's nobody knowing that Matt Plapp, the business has no clue that I saw that. If I click on it, comment, like, share, there is. But if I stop and sit here and I watch a video, the business has the ability, and oddly enough, there's Doug I was just talking about, in an orange Matt Plapp shirt doing a video. It's almost planned. And so if I go back to here, here's what I love about it, that if you got a TV commercial and you think about, okay, did somebody watch my commercial? So there's a big question mark. You have really no clue. You have no idea that if the commercial that you paid a lot of money for was watched by anybody. And so that is to me, at least in the marketing world, would be a huge issue. If I was a small business trying to spend money and buy advertising. Trying to get my font big enough here. There we go. And so you don't know who watched it. And you really have no idea that if Chris Wiley and Darren and Emily were watching that commercial and they were on their sofa and they looked at the person next to them and said, hey, that rapid fired pizza and that new beer wall looks awesome. Let's go there. And then for the most part, they can't promote it. I mean, yeah, I guess they could call their neighbor and go, hey, by the way, Rapid Fired Bowling Green's got an awesome beer wall now. And then you can't retarget them because, like I said earlier, you don't know who actually watched it. So does all that make sense, my panelists?
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, definitely.
But here's what I love about social media is that we've got this video that runs, as I'm going to show you here in a second, and I can see who watched it from a standpoint of demo. I can't see like Matt Plapp and very specific names unless they engage in it. But I can see that, okay, 2,345 women 21 plus who are married watched my video 50%. And so that's pretty powerful because now you can understand specifically who's watching your content, who you want to talk to. And then to make that even bigger, I can say, okay, they engaged. I had shares, I had likes, I had comments. Those are pretty cool metrics that you can actually see. That's why I love seeing it when I talk to clients is that, it's one thing to say, hey, we made a Facebook post and 10 people liked it. It's another thing. So we made a Facebook post and 500 people commented. Because now you can actually see that they grabbed it, that they're engaged in it. And what happens is this right here does something even cooler, is it gives them 2 opportunities to promote. Because now all of a sudden, they can share it. As I show you here in a minute, you'll see when people share posts, it can do good things. But also, when people engage, it leads to more reach. Free reach. And what I mean by that is that Facebook's algorithm is set up to help people find content that is relevant to them. Well, if Facebook looks at me, Emily, Darren, and Chris and sees a lot of similarities, and they say, okay, these people are birds of a feather, they flock together, they look just like each other, demographically, geographically, all this good stuff. And Chris gets on there and comments on a video that iPourIt did. Well, then all of a sudden, Facebook's algorithm says, hey, since Matt, Emily, and Darren look just like this, we're going to show this to them. They'll probably be interested. And so now, free of charge, it's allowing our people who have commented, shared, and liked to promote us. And so we gain that. But probably honestly, the most powerful aspect of all video online is the fact that you can retarget, is that you can run specific ads. What I mean by retarget, it means, I'm going to show you in a second, you can run specific ads to specific viewers. And of course, looks like I spelled something wrong there. Yeah, no, I forgot to see. And so I guess I'll ask my panelists, when you talk about marketing, Chris, you're running, the reason I asked you to be on this one is you've got, I've taught you guys to do video. I've got you doing it. Man, you guys took it and you ran. Talk about what you've seen with video and some of the things like with regards to this, what really got your attention with it to use it for your restaurants.
Well, I think the most substantial thing is that the first thing is that it took a long time to get going shooting videos, right? And you goaded us to do it for a long time, and then we finally started to do it. And the first thing we realized was the still photograph content that we put on our sites, and we post a ton of it, right? Every day we post pictures that we call food porn. There's burritos and tacos and pizzas and whatever it might be. Those items those posts maybe got 20, 30, 50, 100 views, or, just got exposed to people swiping over with their finger. And when we started to do video, the video suddenly would get 500 views, right? Well, then we finally got on the bandwagon and started posting videos every day, which is a battle. I mean, somebody has to do it. Now those still pictures of food porn, the normal photographs of burritos and pizzas and such, now they get 500 views. So now that we're doing daily video posting, the stuff that really wasn't getting a lot of attention is getting a lot of attention, which is really valuable. And then occasionally, maybe once a week, one of those videos, like you said, may get 2,000 views. Ironically, our interviews with staff, where we interviewed a store manager or, particularly bubbly, friendly crew member, what kind of pizza do they like? What's their favorite thing? What's their favorite beer on the beer wall? Those would rocket up and get 1,500, 2,000 views. Yeah. Well, then we would take that and put some ad money behind it, right? What we learned from you is if we just did it the old-fashioned way and push the boost button, which is what Facebook wants you to do, you didn't get much. But if I took that and I had your team promote it to everybody who ever watched a video before, the views rocketed up, yeah. Right? So what we learned was the videos got 10-fold more exposure than the still pictures. They lifted the still pictures, and they began to build an audience of people who watched videos, who apparently like us because they're willing to spend 20 or 30 seconds or a minute and watch a video. And now they're more responsive when we retarget them.
Yeah, and that goes back what Chris has talked about is up here is when you buy Facebook marketing, it's one of the most unique mediums around for this reason, that you can spend, if you imagine each one of these levels is a different ad. So imagine this is your original ad, this is your second ad, this is your third ad, your fourth ad, your fifth ad. You can spend $100 at every single level. And so let's say over the course of a month, you spend $500 and you spend $100 on this first video targeting men who work around your store with a happy hour video. And the second one, you retarget men that watch 25% of that happy hour video. And the third target, you might target, something different. This is a different bad example here, but you might target men that watched more percentage of it. But you keep going down a line, and what Chris was saying, it got more efficient, was because if you talk to people about something that resonates with them and they've engaged with, you're going to have their attention much more. It's kind of like with me, I'm into CrossFit. Well, if I watch 5 videos of Rich Froning doing something at his gym about improving the customer retention and the member retention, and then he retargets me with something a month down the road, I'm going to resonate with that way more because I've already spent 3, 4, 5 minutes with him. And I always joke that if you've spent 3 or 4 or 5 minutes with somebody, you're either related to them or you like what they're doing. And the one part that you mentioned that does get a lot of people that are related is when you do put people into it. When you put employees in there, yep. You now bring in their girlfriends, their cousin, their grandma, their aunt, their neighbor. I can't tell you how many times I've seen customers of mine do videos with their staff, and within 20 minutes, it's like, hey, girl, you're looking good. I haven't seen you in 10 years. And it's the mom's friend's cousin's neighbor. You know, so it brings a whole element in it.
So, Matt, I think it's important to note that when I was talking about our process of still photography and then adding videos and the daily video posting, that's not even necessarily spend, right? That's organic.
It's all free, yeah.
We're posting every day without any spend at all. And then once a week, we decide what to promote. I mean, we do have some ongoing spend, obviously, like on our buy one, get one free promotions. And I'm sure you do something like that in the bar space. Yep. But because obviously you can't discount alcohol and promote it. There's all kinds of rules in the alcohol space. But I can give away food. But my point is, our daily postings are building an audience of video watchers. And then when we spend money to advertise something to them, a happy hour, a discount, a date night, whatever it is, that's where we're getting more efficiency than we would have before.
Yep. So Emily, you've seen a lot with video with the different iPourIt beer partners and the restaurants and breweries and tap rooms. What have you seen and what's your impression of video and how people are using it?
I've definitely noticed a lot of the videos that come up on my feed that I see a lot of engagement with is, and we kind of already hit this, but definitely that organic, natural feel of type of a video. So if you're just kind of showing, you know, what's new on the beer wall, or even if it's just like 15 seconds of walking around the tap room or the restaurant, kind of showing like what's going on that day, just like without any editing, like really organic, natural footage is when I see the most engagement. And like you said, when it has people in it. So people having a good time, people enjoying the food, people using the beer wall. That's when people stop scrolling and they're interested and they're thinking, oh, what's going on? What's happening in this video? So I definitely think, you know, it doesn't have to be professional. And I think the more natural it looks unedited, the better it does on Facebook.
Yep. And that's huge. Now we got somebody I just added a minute ago. Tomas, sorry I added you late. I didn't see you on the list. Welcome.
Thank you. No problem. Sorry, I had some technical difficulties getting in.
And so,
how you guys doing?
Doing great. So I'm going to ask you, because last week's homework was to do video. And it's kind of funny, you guys, like literally within about an hour of the webinar, or a couple hours of the webinar, got off, had an event, did some video, and I shared it in a couple private groups I've got for restaurant marketers. And they were all blown away by how good the guy did who did the video. Like, man, that guy's a natural. I'm like, well, they don't do it very often. What did you hear? What did you see? Or what have you noticed?
Yeah, I mean, that's Logan, by the way. Yeah, he's one of our managers. Yeah, I asked him that day if he wanted to go live, and he's like, yeah, of course. So we went live during our music bingo event. And I mean, like you said, the feedback has been crazy. I mean, we have customers coming in and saying like, are you guys going live today? You know, it's kind of strange actually. And I mean, we have people from like all the way on Eastern Washington calling us, or, you know, his family or friends or whatever. Like the amount of reach was crazy. I mean, within I want to say 2-3 hours was, I think, 1,100 people that saw the video. So it's cool. The engagement is, like Emily was saying, engagement on videos it's outstanding compared to pictures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What I love about it, this is the one thing that I think people miss out on the most. And the number one reason I love video is that nobody does it. Is that I can promise you, if you were to get a list, Tomas, of the top 50 people that I always say, who's got my money? If I'm a restaurant, if I'm a brewery, if I'm a tap room, I want to know who's got my money. Who else is getting the money I should be getting? And I promise there's probably 50 people within 10 miles of you that your customers visit occasionally. And if you were to visit their Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, you'd see no video. And the reason is people hate seeing themselves on video. They're not comfortable. They don't like how they talk. They don't like how they look. They think it's this big, hard, complicated process. They'll shoot a video on a $2,000 camera, or they'll shoot it on their phone. They'll try and edit it, make it perfect, and it takes hours. I mean, I always literally have sitting around me a tripod, my little boom microphone. A lot of times I'll use my AirPods because the microphone's right here and it blocks out noise. I've got a little lens I bought for $10 that allows me to put over my camera, and it makes it wider for about a table. And this is under $100 in equipment, and I shoot live all the time, and it's easy. Like this one right here, all of these people, 699 views, and it was not promoted. It was all just a live video, and it's something that it put a name with Logan. Now, my advice for Logan would be to get the camera higher. You want the camera above your eye level. You want to have and the one thing he did, he did some good stuff. He put his personality into it. He got customers involved because all these people, those shares more than likely came from a couple people that were in that video. And it does a good job. But video has so many opportunities to really connect. And I think that's a huge opportunity for people like yourself to get on there and do it. But also, if you do it correctly, it's really easy. Here's a great one. This is one of your employees, I guess, that graduated.
Yep.
That is a great way to highlight a team member. That's a great way to see if it'll show me. It's weird. Sometimes it shows me the views.
I think it's a great idea to include your employees in videos like this. And not only it shows, a face to your business, but it also gets your employees engaged with your customers. A lot of times if I share videos with iPourIt, my friends and my family will share the video or like the video just because they're supporting me.
Yep.
So when you include, your people on your team or yourself, you're engaging with your customers, and then you're allowing that to be shared through your friends, your family, your customers. So I think it's a great idea to include your employees.
And one thing we talked about too last week with the folks from Pita Pita who couldn't make it today, Hytham and Sonia, was the fact that, people don't know your brand as well as you might think it. Like when I first saw that there was a place called Pita Pita that had an iPourIt beer wall, I'm personally thinking there's a place near me called the Pita Pit. And I'm thinking this fast food pita place with a lot of items brought in from food distributors. Like, man, that's unique. I would have never thought that. Well, he's telling me, he's like, no, our food is fresh. It's made. It's it's not like we're not getting stuff off a semi. We're making a lot of our food fresh. Like, well, then show people that. And so this was a video they put up 20 hours ago. And if I can get I'm gonna turn my camera off here real quick because it's making me slow down on everything. See if it speeds it up. But this is a video, and they followed my advice. They put the post in here. They got the see more button. They got their website. So that forces people, some people click that to see more, see what's going on down there. Maybe my computer will open up. I don't know why it's not doing this. Let me see if I can get it on my phone, see what it tells me, how many views it had. But I actually turned an ad on this morning and spent really not a whole lot of money. About, 30 bucks it looks like. Am I losing my mind here? This won't let me see this freaking video. There we go. Okay, now it's going to open it up. So now I should take it full screen. And Facebook's been hiding the little view thing. I want to see what the views were on this.
Yeah, I've been finding if I'm not the admin on the page, I have to go full screen. Even that's not completely. Yeah. You got to go one more step.
Yeah, it used to show it all the time. Now it's got it down here. So here we are. We're at 915 views and under 20 hours with 20, 30 bucks. And what's cool about this is that this could tell even more of a story. Like this was going to be my advice on this was, don't wait under a heat lamp for your time to come. Fire up your day. We're here to help. Real food, really made from scratch. Love it. I might put some more descriptive stuff in there about how it's made, why it's made this way. But that's going to tell a story much better than anything else. And that's what I love about it, because the cool part about video is that's not hard to do. That was probably done on an app. There's an app I have on my phone called Splice that is pretty simple to use that allows you to shoot a video like that. You can shoot these on the iPhone natively and edit them there. You've got a lot of things like that. It doesn't have to be expensive to shoot video. Now, the folks at Downtime have a guy that does some awesome video work for them, and he's doing some pretty cool stuff and does some unique stuff. This is a really cool one. If I was a iPourIt restaurant or tap room with iPourIt wall, every time I changed a tap, I would go live. I'd go live because I think what happens is a lot of consumers, the more they see stuff, the more they know. And so if like on here, you got 32 options, including beer, wine, ciders at your fingertips. You've probably got a tap being changed every day. And if you have an iPhone that you get off Amazon for $100 that's not even active, or $50 that you have on your Wi-Fi that's always at the restaurant, that's always on the Wi-Fi, they can have it and walk over, and they have a script and they have some tips. And I'll give you some tips here in a minute on doing video. If they have those, then all of a sudden they can hop on there and go, hey, what's up? It's Matt from Downtime Taps. And guess what? Tap number 17 just emptied. Tap 17, why do I bring that up? Well, we've got 32 taps. Yes, 32. And tap 17 was zombie dust, and it's gone. We dusted it out. Now we're adding XYZ. Click the link below to go to Untap to see what's on tap here. We'd love to have you. Here's what we do. If you did that every time, like if you had to guess, Chris, the Bowling Green location, how many times will they change a tap in a year?
Yeah, we roll. Well, I don't know about the year. We change about 5 or 6 kegs a week.
Okay,
so that's a small one. That's an 18 tap system. But
okay.
Yeah, we change a third of the taps every week. And Emily knows we have the tool that causes Untap to publish a post. Right, we get an automated post, and our street team members, the beer wall hosts, they will do videos kind of once a week, shoot a quick video saying, hey, here's all the new stuff on, like when they come on shift. But, frankly, we kind of got lazy about it and haven't been doing it as regularly. So
yeah,
we need to step it up.
I mean, if you think about it, this video here, let's see if it shows. This video, I'm sure, has a couple hundred views. Looks like it's reached 500 people. It's probably got somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 to 400 views, I'm guessing. If you did that every week, like you got 5 beers changing tap, it literally is a 1-minute process. It's, hey, if you make it, what happened? Oh, the audio kicked on. There we go. Let's see what we got here. I don't know why my internet is going so slow. I even threatened my son to quit playing video games.
Yeah, it turns out I was wiping out the Xbox games in the other room with my go-to meetings.
Yeah, so 153 views on that. So if you think about it, if you say, hey, because I'm guessing you guys have a procedure, right, Chris, right, Tomas, when a beer is out, that somebody does A, B, C, D?
Yep.
I mean, make it part of it where, hey, guys, step 7 is you grab the phone, you grab the tripod, you go out and go, hey, what up? It's Tomas. We just knocked out tap 35. We're now changing it to this. There's going to be people out there that identify with that beer like, oh, my gosh, they've got this on tap now. They'll share it. They'll tag their friends. If you change a tap every day, that's 365 a year. You do 300. Let's just say you do it every other time. You still have almost 200 videos that brand you as a place with constantly changing, evolving beers on a really cool system. And if you add up those views, 200, 300, then all of a sudden you do what I'm going to show you here in a second, and you start creating audiences with people who have watched certain videos. Maybe you got your IPA videos, your stout videos, your lager videos. You start doing that when you launch. Like I know that Pita, I think on the 27th, is having a tap takeover that I'm going to help them with. When you start launching something like that and you've got an audience built up, you say, hey, I don't need to target random people. I'm going to target these 1,278 people that watched these particular videos at this length. Now you've got an audience that is so warm and ready that it's not even funny.
I think the awesome thing, well, the one thing about video, and I think a lot of times people, the reason they don't think to do it is because they think it takes so much time. When you look at these videos that have a lot of engagement, or even the live video that Downtime Taps did, they may not be longer, they may be as long as 3 minutes. I think anything longer than that might be too long. I think short and sweet, to the point, fun videos that are just grab people's attention, they don't have to take longer than 5 minutes. It's something super simple and easy. You could have, the manager that's on duty that day, just like Downtime Taps did, quickly do a video, and after a couple of minutes, that's it. They're done with it for the day. I think it's one of the most simple tools on Facebook that's very underused.
Yep. So I'm gonna show you a quick experiment and show you how easy it is for our people out here that are gonna watch this now live or in the future. I got my Facebook page, I got live, I got one line that says, how hard is it to shoot video for your business? And it's simple. Hey, what's up? It's Matt, and I'm actually live right now with a bunch of restaurant and beer people. Say hi, restaurant and beer people.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
That's Emily, Chris, Tomas, and Darren, and myself, and we're on the iPourIt webinar series teaching restaurateurs and people that have the amazing iPourIt beer system in their restaurants and tap rooms around the country the importance of doing video. And I wanted to show them how quick this was, how easy it was, how painless it was, because now I've got a video, I've got people tuning in, and I can market to you in the future. Mike and Doug, I see you're watching. Stay tuned. I'm going to come after you again in the future. I'll see you later. See, the cool part about that was quick, that was easy. Another thing you can do when you do video on the iPhone especially is, don't drop your phone, is that in the upper corner on my phone, a lot of phones have it, there's a little button that's a download arrow. I can download that and save that to my camera roll. And so now I can take that video, if it's under a minute, and upload it to my Instagram story for my business right away. I can take it, if it's over a minute, upload it to Instagram TV, which can be more than a minute. I upload it to LinkedIn. I upload it to YouTube. I have some automation, which I've got a video I shot that I'm going to share in here after this module on how to automate sharing things, because now I can put that many different places, and it wasn't hard. Now, if I would have shot that on the camera I've got in a bag over here and then downloaded it to the editing software and then sat there and tried to make every light perfect, angle perfect, add a logo, then it becomes a headache and it becomes a hindrance. So let me show you all something here. Let me go in here and just go to audiences. I want to show you how to do this in the Business Manager. This is a Facebook Business Manager, and this is the back where we have, all the clients that we work with. If you're a business like Downtime, you've got this more than likely. Have you been in the back of this at all, Tomas, or your team, the Business Manager?
Yes, I have. Yep.
Okay, so what I'm going to show you here is I'm going to go to my own. I'm going to show you all how to create audiences based on engagement and video views. And so this is probably the neatest feature on digital marketing, because like I said, it allows you to narrow the focus. And it also allows you to get, when you show Facebook content that resonates more, I want you to imagine this. You have two ads. You have one post that you put up and you run, let's say, $10 to it. And that goes out to 1,000 people and 5 people engage. Ad B, you spend the same thing, goes out to 1,000 people that have watched a lot of your content that are much more targeted, and 100 people engage. Facebook will go, oh, these people are doing our job for us. You're improving their platform. You're improving the experience on the timeline. They will show it to more people. They'll charge you a lot less money. So if I go in here, and you can see, these are actually some lists right here I created on people. This is PETA, 21 to 45-year-old men within 2 miles of their 3 stores, 110,000. I used that on one of the videos, the video that's running right now with them cutting the food off the, what do you call that? The spinning thing, the lamb.
A spit. I don't know. Good guess.
I don't know.
The lamb spinning thing. If they were on here, we'd know. But I've got 2 demos running, men and women. Reason being, I can separate and see which one performs better. But let's say I want to go on here and I'm going to go to create an audience, and I'm going to go to custom audience. How are we doing on time too? We are at, oh wow, cool. We're doing pretty good. So I'm going to go to custom audience down here. Maybe. There we go. Okay, it skipped on something. Hold on, let me go back. Let me turn my camera off again because I think that's messing me up. Okay, I'm going to go to custom audience, and I'm going to go to little window is going to pop up. It's going to give you some choices, and I'll walk through those choices. So you've got on here audiences you can create based off of activity. So website traffic. So if you have the Facebook Pixel installed, we mentioned that last week. You can target people that have visited your website or pages of your website. Customer list. You can target people that are in your list. For example, Chris Wiley's stores, we have the people that have went through the iPourIt system. We have them from the point of sale, and we retarget people. We try and find them off that list. We're not worried about these two. Then you got video, and you've got lead form, which you're doing leads. You've got your Facebook page, which allows you to target people who follow your page and interact with it. Events, different events that you've had on Facebook they interact with. But the one we're going through here is video. So if you click video, it's going to pull up and give you some options. So I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to say, I want to pick people that watched 50% of my videos, 50% of the video. And I'm going to go to choose videos. And I'm going to go to downtime. So let's go into downtime. And so it'll actually pull up a list of all of your videos, and you can choose them. And let's say, for example, like I've got myself, I have 4 categories of videos that I use for Matt Plapp that target different audiences. So when I upload videos, I always have in mind, now I'm farther ahead on the video game of, hey, like this week I had 5 videos that went up that target a specific audience. When I go in every week, I take those 5 videos and add them to that audience, whether it's restaurant or agency or entrepreneurs or events. So in this case, let's just imagine that, Downtime's done this, and they've got these videos. And I go and I can choose these. And I've got a 20-second one there. I'm not going to do the 5 because that's really quick. That's a 3-minute one. That's great. And you can literally go back and choose as many as you want and look and see. So I've got this one here with 2,200 video views. It's 9 seconds long. This one's got 4,400 views. And what I do is I then choose all those. Now, I'm a fan of trying to segment. So if you can ever get it to where you're doing video content and these are, like in this case, beer. These are wines. These are ciders. These are lagers. These are IPAs. These are stouts, whatever. If you can come up with a system like that eventually, get there. Short term, don't worry about it. Short term, worry about people that engage in your content. So here, I've got people that have watched 50% or more of these particular videos. In the past, you want to choose time. 365 days for me is too long, because just because somebody watched 50% of a video a year ago doesn't mean they're engaged now. So I'll typically say like 60 days. And then I'll name this audience. I'll say this is downtime. And I'll just act like this is, wines. So 50% wine and cider. Wine and cider views. And I create that audience. Now it's going to do 2 things here that are really cool. It's going to ask me when I click next, if I want to create an audience or expand the audience or create an ad. So I could literally click this, and it will let me create an ad using that audience. Now it's going to take a couple hours for that to populate. Or I can do this expand my audience. I can find an audience that looks just like that. So I can do a lot of different things. I can go in here and say, I'm in the United States. And I can tell Facebook, find me people in the United States that look just like that. Now this down here, this percentage, the farther you go out, the bigger the audience is going to get, but the narrower, the wider you're going to cast the net. So I always recommend you stay at 1%. And so it says there's 2.2 million people approximately that will look like these people across the United States. What happens is when you create this audience, you then use it in an ad and you choose your geographic area. So you would then choose this audience, create an ad with it, and you can, I won't do it there. You can create an ad and then you would choose, let's say, for example, this part of Washington, and you're only going to target that part. You're not going to target the United States. So it'll be a lot less. But you can see down here, if I scroll down and look at some of my, actually let's go to rapid fire. Let's look at the Bowling Green location. We got some video there.
Yeah, we got a good video audience there.
Yeah, so we should have our audiences in here we've used in the past and we use in current ads. Because what we do when Chris and them submit ads they want us to create for their restaurants, we go in and it depends on the audience, but the ad, we target very specific people instead of everybody. So if you look, these are their audiences we've got. So this is their lookalike. So opt-ins, number one, this is a list of people that have opted into their program, 3,300, 3,900 people. So if I want to target somebody and get really effective, I got 3,900 people there. If I go down to here, BG Beer Wall patron, these are 2,200 people that we've identified are beer wall customers. Who better to target if you're doing a tap takeover? I mean, Pita Pita's got a tap takeover in a week. Imagine if they had this list of people who have drank beer at the beer wall, and they can say, hey, we want you to come for the tap takeover. And you can even segment it farther. We want these 2,200, but you know what? We're doing a big cider event. We're going to target women, or a big wine event. We're going to target men, or a big, lager event. We got all these German breweries near. We're going to target people that follow German beer. And then you come down here, you can look, 25% views. So this is Rapid Fired Pizza, Bowling Green, 25% of their video views. So people that have viewed 25% or more of their videos, 15,000 people. Now, Chris, I got to imagine that's a lot of people around Bowling Green.
Yeah, there's about 30,000 people in the area. So that's the population technically.
Yep. And so then you've got engaged in post. Let's see, beer wall, 50%. So then we narrowed it. I said, you know what? I want to get real specific. So we're below 1,000. And then I've got people that have messaged the page, 4,600. People that have engaged in posts, 4,600. It's not updated for some reason. I don't know what that means. Lookalikes. This is people that lookalike. So for example, I can go in here and say, hey, here's 15,500 people that have engaged in Rapid Fired Pizza Bowling Green's page, and they've watched 25% or more of their videos they've posted about the beer wall. I want to go in here and I want to create a lookalike. So I can click this button, and now I'm going to have a lookalike. So if I'm doing an ad that I want to be more broad to find new people, I can do the exact same thing. So I choose United States. I click create. And when I create an ad, I can create an ad knowing that I'm going to find people that look like these people. And I'll put that in perspective. Every one of us that's on Facebook, and even people who aren't on Facebook, you have what's called a ghost profile. You have approximately 120,000 metrics in the back of your account. Married, single, like pizza, don't like pizza, like beer, checked in here, live here, drove by here, took a picture of a donut, didn't take a picture. I mean, there's so much stuff back there that when they're able to take those things and combine them and say, hey, these 15,500 people, the ideal person in here has these 75 characteristics. They go out and find them. So does that make sense, Tomas? And
yes.
Well, then you're going to go. We can go ring fence that, right, and geographically target it to only people within 5 miles of Bowling Green. And
exactly.
We don't spend money on people in Chicago.
Yeah. Exactly, and you can do that. Also, while we're on this, one thing I bring up that some people don't do: go into your Facebook page and make sure that you include people from the country you're in only. So, like Tomas, you guys would actually have Canada and the United States, but you want to exclude people from other countries. You want to have it to where only people that are in the United States or Canada can see your page, because for whatever reason, there's a lot of people outside of our country that like to come watch Facebook pages and message them and comment. And if you go in the back of Facebook settings, you have visibility. You can do that. That'll allow you to eliminate, people from other weird. Don't even ask me why, but there's some countries where they must be really bored, and they'll go in there and comment on your stuff and eat up your bandwidth and cause you to spend more money on ads sometimes. So make sure you do that. It just pops in my head. But you guys with Canada, you want to have both.
Yep, got it.
Yeah, so I mean, this is just an opportunity. So I guess let's see. I got a question I see in here. Is there a separate tutorial showing how we access that from the iPourIt system? John wants to know, Emily, as far as the data. I think you're muted, Emily.
Sorry. I can't see the question.
Yeah, John Lee says, is there a separate tutorial showing how we can access that info from the iPourIt system? I guess he means the customer info.
Oh, the data.
Yep.
Yeah, that's easy. The report.
Yeah, so you can access your iPourIt data through your admin dashboard, and I'm not sure where Darren went because he'd be able to answer that question more thoroughly.
But that's it's a standard report. It's really easy to get to, and it just dumps it. It's like a leaderboard list of your customers and who drank the most.
Cool. Well,
So that's what we use with Matt to create that audience of people who basically, Tommaso, you scan their driver's license, right? It doesn't have all their personal data. It has just enough, right? It's got their name and their birth date, and the name and the birth date are key to matching on Facebook, if I understand it correctly.
Yeah, a big time. Name, birthday, and zip code. Let me show you guys that real quick since we're in here. I'll just give you an idea of that. So if I go into create an audience, and I go back to I go to custom audience, it's going to ask me off a customer list, and I choose this customer list, and I can use a file that I can import.
Oh, here, I see.
And so you can look up here. This is the identifiers. There's 15. There used to be 17. I don't know what 2 they got rid of, but there's 15. And what this is saying that if you pull data in, these are 15 items that they can match by. So email, phone number. Don't worry about mobile advertiser ID. That's outside of our pay grade here. First name, last name, zip code, city, state, country, birth date, year of birth, gender, age, Facebook app user ID, and Facebook page user ID. So you can go in here and you can upload a file. So I should have a file probably in here. Let's see. I'm guessing that probably does. Go to downloads. I usually have files in here. Oh, there's one that says people. So we'll see what people is. And so I can typically name this people. I got to click where I got it from customers. I click next, and now it'll have the columns on that spreadsheet. Okay. Well, I guess that was a bad file. So typically it would have, if I had a correct file, it would give me the actual columns that are on. Let me choose a different one. Get rid of that. Choose another one. Let's see here. Here we go. 10-day report. Where did that go? I just saw it. Hothead customers. There we go. So these are customers. We got that. Click next. And so now, well, apparently I don't have it formatted. So you got to format it right. Basically what it wants you to have is a column. Let me see here, 10-day report, campaigns. So I'm trying to find one I just did recently. It might be these are, that's the CSV. So this one should work unless I'm just doing something wrong on my end, which is possible. There we go. So you can select a column, whatever it is. Like this one's phone number. You got all this different information, zip codes. I can see here, there's their home zip code, and you go next, and it'll walk you through. You're building this data, and so if you have a spreadsheet, for example, like iPourIt has, you can see all this information here. So if I have all this information, this is a lot of stuff. But imagine this was first name, last name, birthday, city, state, zip. Facebook will find that person, and what it will do is it will tell you how many rows it matched. So if I scroll down here, I should be able to find one of these customer lists right here. So if I were to, let's see here, I want to look at this. I want to view details, edit. And that's where my computer's going slow. Usually there's a column over here. Let me see if it'll show me the column, date create. Oh, here we go, audience. Might do this. There's a for some reason it's not showing me. There's a list sometimes it'll show you that shows you how many when the last person was updated and all that kind of stuff. But when you upload that, it allows you to see. It allows you to say, "Hey, we've got 2,000 people in here," and you can run ads targeting them. You can run ads to people that look just like them in your area. It's a pretty cool place to do things, and it allows you to really optimize what you're doing video-wise. I think that's all I was going to cover in that section. Let me go back to the agenda. There we go. So we go back to the agenda. And the homework. So your homework is really similar to last week. It's shoot more video because there's opportunity. And the opportunities to shoot video in your restaurant, we could list, it's endless. It is interviewing an employee. Hey, what's your name? How long you worked here? What do you love the most about our food or about the atmosphere, about our customers? You could highlight the beers being changed, talk about that. The one thing I think that people, especially with the iPourIt system, I have not seen many doing it yet, and I hope to change that, is, talk about the quantity of taps. Because I can't tell you how many restaurants I talk to that are stuck with 5 to 10 tap systems at their bar. The old school restaurant, they've been there 20 years, they've got 5. They've got Bud Light, and Keystone, and Miller Lite. They have nothing else unique, and they're stuck with that. Well, people aren't accustomed to seeing 40, 50, 60. Emily, what's the biggest beer wall that somebody has with iPourIt?
I believe 60 or 70. I'd have to.
And Chris, you've got one coming up too, right? With 60 something?
Yeah, we're planning a 60 tap in Findlay, Ohio. Yep.
So 60 beers on tap. How many places within 30 minutes of Findlay, Ohio have more than 30 beers on tap?
I was nothing within an hour.
Within an hour. So if I'm an iPourIt beer tap room and restaurant, every week I've got my calendar of videos. I'm going to do a staff one. I'm going to do an event one. I'm going to do a tap changing one. I'm going to do a food pairing one, or what food trucks, because I know Downtime has food trucks that come in pretty frequently, right?
Yes.
Because I know Coconut Kenny's is next door. We have food trucks that come in. I'm going to do a video interview with that food truck. Do those things, are they pretty, is it the same ones every day, every week? What is it?
3 different trucks, Thursday through Saturday.
Okay. Now, Thursdays, is this one every Thursday?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So what's today's food truck?
It's a burger joint. It's our place cafe.
Okay. I would be out there with a camera. Hey, what up? It's Downtime. You know what food truck it is? It's this one. I can promise you probably 90% of your customers don't know that food truck comes every Thursday, because they don't come every Thursday. They come every once in a while. But they went there and had an awesome burger, and when at 5 o'clock on Thursday, they're getting ready to leave work, and I can promise you the conversation in a lot of offices, where are we going tonight? What's happening tonight? Dude, I just saw Downtime's got Boom 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 burger truck. You're kidding me. I had their burger a month ago. It's legit. Let's go. And so do that. Talk about, hey, what burger? This is the beer I've got. I've got the Imperial Stout. What burger would you recommend with this stout? And if you did that once a week, but things like that, if you just schedule them, that Monday it's this video, Tuesday it's this one, Wednesday, within a month you've got 40 or 50 videos, and then you can go back and retarget, do some cool stuff. But people love sharing. People share videos. I don't know the number, but I'm willing to bet it's 100 times more than they share a picture.
I think also with what you said about the quantity of taps that iPourIt operators have, I think another great idea is showing the variety of products you have on your tap wall. A recent video I just saw at Downtime Taps Do was one of their customers mixing 2 different products to create their own concoction.
Yep.
And it was a cider, and I think it was a porter or something, but
Yeah,
it was,
snake bite.
Yeah, I think it was a great video to show hey, we don't just have IPAs on tap. We have a bunch of these different varieties. And the cool thing about it is you pour it yourself, so you can make your own concoction. Like, I think that was a great idea, and a cool way to use video.
Yeah, we did a lot of that during the holidays back in the Christmas season, mixing cinnamon roll beer with coffee stouts and things like that, and we actually got a lot of videos out of it. Got a lot of it. It was crazy.
Yeah, and I think people don't think to mix different flavors of beers.
No, it's sacrilegious.
Yeah. So I think
what I also found that was really surprising is that a lot of people, I hosted the wall for the first 5 or 6 weeks we had it in the store, and a lot of people, we ask them what they want, and they say, "Oh, I drink IPAs." Well, somebody else in the party drinks ciders, and you pour them some tasters, and all of a sudden you find that the guy who thinks IPA because it's a cool thing to say, he doesn't even go back to the IPA taps. He doesn't really like
100% true.
Beer, right? I mean, we see converts every day, and what I try to get our team to do is pour them samples.
Yeah, and John Lee just said they're at 60 taps. Well, John, I'm going to find out from Emily the name of your place, and I'm going to cyber stalk you. And if I have to, I will fly to your place and force you all to do video, because 60 taps is huge. And that is the biggest competitive advantage you have over anybody within an hour of you. And as Chris will tell you, and you guys all probably know this, they'll drive to come see it. And the only way they're going to know that story is when you get videos, and they'll go viral, man. The video like 60 taps. Are you kidding me? We got 60 taps. I didn't know that. Who's paying the beer bill? And you walk down the line and show the taps. I mean, every day I'd be going live with 60 taps of beer on the wall, 60 taps of beer. We just knocked this one down. We're gonna just make a nursery rhyme out of it. Have fun with it. It will catch on. And the
reality is that any post you do, you only get 500 to 1,000 views unless you put ad money behind it. So, we recycle, right? Like we talked about earlier, we change up the language, change up the headers, recut the film a little bit if it is something that was edited. And, if you get 500 to 1,000 people seeing it, it's just keeping top of mind. Got to do it every day, every day, every day. And like you said, you could keep shooting those all day long. You're not wearing anybody out.
Yeah. Because different people are going to share different ones. Different people are going to interact with different ones. So that's everybody's homework. Your homework is to shoot more video, to come up with, and I'm going to expand on the homework a little. Your homework is to, over the next week, come up with a video plan, Tomas, that you can give your team and say, hey, guys, when we change a tap, we do this video. Every Thursday, we do, or every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we do a food truck video. On Tuesdays, we highlight a team member, because people want to know more about people there. Now, I will say this. Do not highlight the most beautiful girl in your place, because then you'll have a billion comments that are a different route. But have people tell their story. Have people get involved, and customers like that. I think I always tell people, have something unique in your restaurant, and that's one thing that is pretty cool, that every iPourIt place has one of the most unique products they could ever have in the restaurant business, the iPourIt system. Cool. That's all I've got. Emily, closing words?
I definitely think, this whole video thing is an underused tool, and we've said it a couple of times throughout this webinar. So if you guys are trying to figure out how to boost that engagement and how to target specific people coming to your business, use video. I'm excited to see more videos to come with Downtime Taps and Rapid Fired Pizza and Hothead. You guys have pretty good content already, so I'm excited to see what you guys do with it all.
Yeah, key is don't overthink it. Just shoot videos. It's so difficult to get our staff to do it. They're terrified of the camera.
Believe it or not, 5 years ago, I was terrified of the camera. Even though I've been doing video for 10 years, I had a client named Troy McCracken who called me out on it. I came up with this idea like in 2006 or 7. I was going to do a video a month. That was a huge thing for me, a video a month. And in December, he goes, hey, Matt, man, I loved July's video on email marketing. I'm still waiting on August's video. And it was in December. And he's like, bro, you got to practice what you preach. And I was hitting him with videos. Like, you got to do videos all the time. And finally, I'm like, okay, got to start doing what I preach. And I started doing it, but I was scared to death. And now, like, my kids make fun of me, like, openly. Like, they're like, hey, I'm Matt Plapp, because I'm always live somewhere. So.
Where's Waldo?
Yeah, where's Waldo? There he is. So, Tomas, any parting
Yep.
words?
No, I'm good. Good stuff today. Yeah, we'll probably go live tonight if you guys are ready for it.
We're ready. I want to see these burgers.
Yeah,
Put some ad money behind that bad boy.
If they show up, food trucks are very inconsistent and really hard to schedule with. So yeah, we'll see.
You got Coconut Kenny's next door. If the food truck doesn't come up, walk over
True.
there and say, hey, there's no food truck, but I got my guy Kenny and a big slice of pizza.
That's smart. I like that. I'm gonna use that. Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Well, hey, next Thursday, same time, same place, except I'll be in California down the road from you, Emily.
Oh, nice.
And that's all I got. I'll see y'all later.
All
right.
right.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.